Howdy, y'all. Caleb here. All right, we did get an updated Saurus Oldblood on Carnosaur. So this is a new Warscroll. Well, let's talk through this for a few minutes because this is pretty exciting. I play Carnosaurs a lot. I like monsters. I can't help it. I play the Carnosaur quite a bit. The Carnosaur is always kind of disappointing in the amount of damage it outputs. Every once in a while, it'll spike and do a bunch, but normally it's pretty disappointing. So it really acts as more of a utility role. This one, I think, has a little bit more bite to it, okay? It's got a little bit more damage. So let's talk through some of the differences here. It's got the same move, the same health, the same save, the same control. All of its base stats are still the same. So let's look at its weapon profiles. You'll notice it lost the shooting Sunbolt Gauntlet, which is a little disappointing. That thing never did any damage, or not any significant damage. But we'll look here in a second why I think it still would have been useful to have just a little bit of shooting on this unit. It's been wrapped up into the melee weapons, which is fine. He has like an Iron Man gauntlet that shoots a laser. I wish it had kind of stuck around. All right, so the spear and the Sunbolt Gauntlet are essentially the same as the previous spear, but we got one extra attack. So we have 6 attacks now, 3s, -1 rend, 2 damage. On the charge, it'll be 3. Very nice. A good weapon attack profile. It's not horrible. The massive jaws, we have 3 attacks. That was the same as before. 4s, 2s, 2 rend, but now 4 damage. Ooh, all right. Now we're talking. We got 4 damage. The forelimbs got an extra attack. It's on 4s, 2s, -1, 3 damage. So that's the same attack profile for that one. So overall, not a huge glow up. We got 1 extra damage and then a couple extra attacks, but nothing big. I think where this Saurus Oldblood on Carnosaur shines is in its abilities. So it still has the passive battle damage ability as it did before, but we have a new Blood Frenzy ability. So Frenzied by Blood. Add 1 to the damage characteristics of this unit's companion weapons while it's within 6 inches of any damaged enemy units, or while it's within 6 inches of any enemy units that had any models slain in the same turn. So, this is very good. So now our jaws goes up to 5 damage, and our forelimbs go up to 4 damage. That makes the jaws hit extremely hard. Now, remember, the jaws and forelimbs are companion attacks, so we can have those crit hitting with Itzel. So now you've got a 5 damage attack that could be crit hitting for more attacks. That could be on 3s and 2s because of the monstrous trait. Rend 2, maybe we get that up to Rend 3 a variety of ways. Purple Sun, the Armor Cruncher, or Spawn of Chotek. We're not going to act like that thing's actually in the army until we get a new battle tome. But there are ways to do that. So all of a sudden, this Frenzied by Blood passive is very good. I like this a lot. Now here's kind of where I wish the Gauntlet still had its shooting attack, because occasionally you'd pop 1 damage, and that's all you really needed here for this Frenzied by Blood. But I think what this does is it means that you can afford to send this Carnosaur in, send in another unit. You're kind of doing combo attacks on that same unit. Some of the monstrous trait really kind of worked into this, like Armor Cruncher. You're crunching down their armor, letting some Agrodons attack, and then the Carnosaur attacks after that. They're damaged. Now it's doing even more damage. So I like that it synergizes well with some other stuff. Maybe you take in some shooting, like a Bastiladon with the laser that can do some shooting beforehand, or just something else to pop a little bit of damage onto that unit to make sure it's damaged. A lot of times we'll just do that in the hero phase with Croak, some spells, or let's charge this in nearby with a Bastiladon with Arc of Sotek. Let's say an Arc of Sotek is attacking a unit over here. This Oldblood is attacking a different unit. The Arc of Sotek has a 9-inch aura of mortal wounds. It pops the unit the Carnosaur is in combat with for some mortal wounds, and now it procs Frenzied by Blood. So I think there's a lot of ways to get a little bit of damage on this unit before it's actually fighting. So I do like that this is a passive. So anytime somebody's died, it'll proc there. So that's good. While it's within 6 of it, obviously. But all right, so what else we have? Passive. We have another passive, Alpha Predator. Okay. Agrodons instinctively know that where an Alpha Carnosaur treads, carnage ensues. Yes. Okay. So this is pretty cool. This one is so good. I like this so much. Friendly Agrodon Lancers do not lose rage tokens at the end of the turn while they're wholly within 12 of this unit. Yes. Finally. All right. I like this so much better than the Agrodon hero. I guess technically you could combo these up, but you probably don't have enough points for that. Points are going to be tight with this guy because this Carnosaur is 340 points and Agrodons aren't cheap. So points are going to be tight in an Agrodon list when you add this, but this is so good. So Agrodons, if you don't know about this, as they fight, they build up rage points, which gives them more companion attacks. So the problem was opponents would always just pull out of combat with them, drop their rage token down, and now they've got to start building that all up again. So this Carnosaur with some Agrodons is just like the perfect combination. Frenzied by Blood works with them. Armor Cruncher works between them. Alpha Predator works between them. This is just so nice. A good effect to go along with them. So I think this Carnosaur is a very good choice to go along with those Agrodons. Oh, there are some tricks for this too. I was thinking about this as I was sitting here contemplating it. So these two in a Sunclaw list, which give the battle formation that gives you a 3-inch move and D3 mortal wounds at the end of the turn, 3-inch pile-in. So what this does is at the end of the turn, you're going to get to make your pile-ins, and this could potentially get them back in range. So let's imagine they're outside of 12. You basically have an extra 6 inches of play. Agrodons can move 3 this way. Carnosaur can move 3 this way to get them within 12, as well as inflicting some mortal wounds. But so I think there's some play there. If they're out of range, you can get them back in with Sunclaw. Just an extra little trick. All right. His last ability, also very good. Once per turn, army, any combat phase. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit to be the target. Roll a dice. On a 3-up, the target cannot use commands for the rest of the turn. Whoo, boy. Okay, this one's so good. I've played with this a lot with concussors. My son plays concussors a lot, and so I've been hit by the same type of ability a lot. On a 3-up, they cannot use commands for the rest of the turn. Very good. This combos extremely well with the other monstrous trait of Armor Cruncher. Let me get back up to that. So Armor Cruncher, you're going to subtract 1 to their save, and that's going to combo up with they can't use commands. So now they can't even get all-out defense if they wanted to. This makes him such a good utility piece and activates very well with the synergies. I mean, this is what we've been wanting. We've been wanting a Carnosaur that actually does stuff, that has abilities, that has synergies, that has debuffs. I think we got all that. I'm more than happy to pay 340 points for this Carnosaur. So that's a great one. It is any combat phase, so if somebody charges you, you can use that defensively. Keeps a lot of abilities that go off on command abilities are going to be shut down by this. So that's gonna make it very, very nice. This could be, if you wanted to go with a defensive build on a Carnosaur, this could be one of those attributes that you really kind of focus in on. So I like this a lot. All 3 of these abilities I just absolutely love. I think they're fantastic. This is what I wanted to see out of a Carnosaur, and so I'm very happy. His regiment options didn't really change. It can add a favored spawning and any Seraphon. That's really nice. 340 points. This guy is not unique, so if you do want to take a Carnosaur, you can double up on a couple of these Scourge of Gyran Carnosaurs. That'd be pretty expensive, but I'm trying to think. Do they combo well with each other? Not really, but you can, put the Armor Cruncher on one, and then they'll essentially all benefit from it if you're combo charging. So I do like this. In general, most Carnosaur lists only have one Carnosaur anyway, but this is a great option there for a Carnosaur. I love it. This Carnosaur can do some pretty good damage. Here, I kind of worked out some of the average damage of the old Carnosaur versus the new Carnosaur. So we can see the old Carnosaur here on this line with Itzel and +1 to hit. And those are kind of your standard loadouts for the current Carnosaur. And you see versus a 4-up, it would do an average of 17 damage. So base new Carnosaur versus a 4-up does 13, but with +1 to hit, it's already doing more than the old Carnosaur did on +1 to hit and Itzel. Once we add Itzel into there, we're up to 20 damage versus a 4-up save. So already doing better. Here's where it can get pretty good. The new Carnosaur with +1 to hit, Itzel, and Frenzy, so you've got off the Frenzy, which should be fairly easy to maintain, is doing 24.5, almost 25 damage versus a 4-up save. If you add an Armor Cruncher there, you're looking at 30 damage versus a 4-up save. And if you're going down to something with like a 3-up save or a 2-up save, I mean, you're doing double the damage of the old Carnosaur. So this new Carnosaur is significantly better, not just on its attack profiles, but also on the way that it can buff itself, Agrodons, and anybody else that's in combat with it, with the Armor Cruncher stuff as well. So you're shutting off command points, you're reducing their saves. This Carnosaur, I feel like is quite good. I'm very happy with it. So, all right, fellas, catch you on the next one. See ya.